Well, it's time to wrap up another trading day. June the 5th is almost behind us. The E-mini is going to close strong. Now, I really want y'all just to think about the opportunity that you were given this morning. We came in, the stock market has rallied in expectations of an ECB rate cut to 0.10 to 0.15 for their borrowing rate. And they were hopeful that they would get a negative return on deposits, and they got that. This negative return on deposits and lower interest rates frees up money that has to go somewhere. Not all of it will go towards loans. It'll go into the European stock market. It'll go in Japan's, the China's, and the United States. Buy stocks. So you know that coming in. And what did we get? We got a very, very strong up day. I thought we would have a trading range capped by 35 and on the top side and 20 on the downside. We got down pretty close to 20. I believe the low is 21, and we subsequently have gotten stops above 40. So we got a higher low and a higher high, and that makes us a buyer going into tomorrow's news. Now, tomorrow's going to present us an interesting opportunity for us because the news, if as forecast, is supportive for the indexes, but it's going to be built into the market. So they are looking for non-farm payroll jobs to be up 220,000. That would negate this week's ADP number, which really didn't impact the markets much negatively. The market's just been going up all week. Then all the good news is out. We've had the ECB, what they've done. It's Friday, perhaps profit-taking. So the biggest dynamic that I can see to the short side would be profit-taking into the week. 1950 is the target. And I don't see any reason not to get there. And if we get a better than expected number tomorrow, we could get there tomorrow morning, bright and early. So right now we've had a double distribution to the high side. That favors the buyers once again. This confirms the other one, so we're going to be looking to buy weakness. And we had the breakout this morning from the 33-34 area right here. So as long as we stay above 33-34, this market is pointed higher. And in fact, the last rotate down was 36.5, 37. So our first buy is going to be 35, 37. It is aggressive as hell, but it is the overnight session. We'll have a chance to open it up before tomorrow. And then we have our 30 to 32 for buy 2. The easiest trade to see, and this is for the overnight only, is selling failure to extend the range today. It's a short-term trade. You would not want to carry that into tomorrow's news. So we're going to sell failure to take out 40.42. And on the buy side, we're buying 35 to 37. It is a very aggressive trade, but you saw last night we had absolutely no range. We're going to trade from the long side. Now, the bond and note are strong today too. And part of this money that comes out of Europe is going to go into the financials or bonds and notes. So they're actually supported by what the European Central Bank did today. We have an outside day. I don't think today's news out of ECB turns this market around and rallies it, but it probably puts a floor in. So the start of the rally came out of the 2320 to 24 area. I think that's probably really, really good support. We've got an outside day today that you can see. Outside day usually means trading range. The numbers, if as forecast, are negative for this one, for the financials. And the easiest trade to see would be we'll get tomorrow's numbers come in and the market doesn't break. Bad news doesn't break a market, buy it. And like I said, today's ECB news was actually supportive for our financials. So on this screen, we come out trading range. I think the game's the same on F2. We came in this morning wanting to sell failure to take out 20 to 24. We had a sell recommendation of 19 to 23, then 27 to 31. The high was 22.5 during the day session. Number 1 resistance area holds. That takes us to our number 2 support, and our number 2 buy this morning was 1 to 5. The session low was 1. The session high was 22.5. You had that information in your hands before the market opened. You had plenty of time to act upon it. So right here, the sell is going to remain the same. We're going to sell failure to take out 20 to 24. We're going to open it up a little bit to the downside. We're at 15 right now. Last rotate down stopped at 9. So we're going to buy 8s to 12s, buy 1. Might take a 13 to get in, but that's only 2 seconds away. And then our second buy is going to be 1 to 5, just where it was this morning. And long term, what the European Central Bank did today was supportive for our financials. The knob spread is holding where it was at 10 plus 28. So we haven't gotten a lot of action there. We don't have people kick in. But remember, the dynamics after an auction week are to sell financials to set up the next week's auction. And next week's auction is for the 3, 10, and 30 year. And they've gotten pretty heavy short this week. So they've got plenty of futures contracts to cover and buy back, which will ultimately will support the 3, 10, and 30 year auctions. Okay, 19s to 23, sell 1. Sell 2, 27 to 31. That's just where we were this morning. That was our recommendation. So the high was 20. You were able to get off a short in the 30 year. Our buys this morning were 1 to 5, and then 21 to 25, and we got all the way down to 15 off the selling. And in the A period, the correction came back. So number 1 resistance leads to number 2 support. You've got to build this into your thinking. Gives you areas where you want to get long or short. So the buy side, D was the last rotate down, was 7. We're at 11. Because we've got a little extra volatility here, we'll make 1 to 5, buy 1. And we'll make 21, 25, buy 2. Looking for 220 non-farm payrolls, 6.4% unemployment. You know the news, you've got the trade. And at 4 o'clock this afternoon, over 100 officials in our government, this administration, and various bureaucracies will know what tomorrow's numbers are. And there is 0% correlation between the ADP number and the Bureau of Labor Statistics number. So you can't draw inferences from that, although generally speaking, if the ADP number is higher or lower, they'll adjust the non-farm payroll number higher or lower too. Okay, gold is telling us that inflation's back on the table, and that's got to make them happy at the European Central Bank. That's the goal of all of this, is to devalue that currency. So we have a seller at 60 and we've got a buyer at 40, as you will see from the screens. I think we got a pretty good shot of seeing 12.15 to 12.35 before this is over. So I don't mind getting short in the 12.55 to 12.60 area. We're at 53, so 55 to 57 will be sell 1. 60 to 62 will be sell 2. On the buy side, we broke this baby out at 47.48. We're at 53, so we'll make 48.50 buy 1. I think the market's got a pretty good chance of being on hold into our employment figures tomorrow, and 43.45 for buy 2. But have to say that I like the sell side a little better than the buy side. Not overwhelmingly so where I'm adamant about it, but I think because of large institutional selling, we got a better chance of visiting 1235 or better than we do of visiting 1265. The euro, who knows? That thing was all over the map today, really, really strong. The news articles, the wire coming out on the wires point to the fact that Draghi did not do enough. They really want quantitative easing, and they're going to show him that he's got to do it, or they're going to take the price of the euro up. You have to. I'm going to change the scale on this. You have to remember that the market tends to do in the short run which hurts the most amount of people. And we got a real strong market right now. We're above 136.50 and holding it. So that means 137 is within reach. That would be 50 points over where we are. We got a high volume number at 76. Got a high of 70 for today. So selling the 65, 75 area looks pretty good. I think a lot of the buying we saw of late today was short covering. Market on close short covering. That's how the large institutions do it. S2 will be 36.90 to 137. Last rotate down was 07. We're at 52, so we'll make, for the overnight, we'll make 15 to 25 buy one because of tomorrow's unemployment numbers, and then 136 even, 135.90 for buy two. But you just have to, Draghi's got to be over there pulling his hair out. What does a central banker have to do to bring the price of the euro down? And again, we've talked about it a lot that Draghi doesn't have near the power that our Fed does because he can't buy securities in the open market. And last but not least, crude. We've had it a 103 to a 102 minus, 103 plus last couple of days. And 101.50 held. If you add 100 points to that, 102.50 would be the number that pops up. And we're currently at 102.58. Almost made it to 75. So this market is pointed higher. I think it will go a little higher in the overnight. We want to sell our 103. Sell against 103 if possible. So 275 to 103, sell one. And then 3 1/4, 350, sell two. Not really enamored with getting long down here at 102, but 102 even to 102.26, buy one. And then buy two, 101.50 to 101.75. And that does it for June the 5th, 2014. I mean, you just cannot help but be filled with awe and wonder that we're allowed to do this day in and day out. I mean, stop and think about it. How blessed you are having access to these types of possibilities. Enough to make you feel grateful, if you know what I mean. Y'all have a great evening. I'll see you bright and early in the morning. We got 1 to 2 inches of rain across a great deal of Kansas. Helps the corn and bean crop. The wheat crop is done. You won't be adding to it. So right now, corn and bean and alfalfa growers are pretty happy. But the wheat farmers, their die is cast next year for the wheat crop. Y'all have a great evening. See you at 6:45 Central. I'm out of here.